I was all singing, and you're like, let's go. Fucking, come on, let's go. Oh, my gosh. It's my dad. Okay, I'll call you back, Dad. And it's Franny. Bacon pancakes. This is the theme song. This is the theme song. Theme song. This is theme song.
Took you a minute to get going there.
Theme song. Bop, 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 bop. John.
Welcome to When Wife Gives You Lemons.
Welcome.
Starring Francis.
Franny Francis. Francisco.
Took her disc golfing today.
She did not like me. She is like, okay, first of all, we need to explain. Franny Francis is like obsessed with me, which is what I've always wanted in life.
Oh, yeah.
And get out of there, though. And John took her disc golf, and she just found a pumpkin. And now she's running outside with a pumpkin.
Okay. So.
And anyways, she was so mad that I ruined her in dad time. Like, so bad.
I know. She was doing good.
She was really good.
Yeah. Other than being a little snippy toward other dog.
Yeah, we got to get better with that.
Yeah,
but we're getting better. We're gonna. Do you
Puppy
have
twat. You know, I had one, but I didn't write it down like I should have. So it's like, that's too funny. I'll never forget that.
I remember you said something happened and it was super funny, and I said, write it down.
And I said, okay.
We were in the living room.
Yeah, I know. I remembered all that. I remember all of that. I just can't remember the story. And I think it was something that me and Brody or me and Caleb happened. I can't remember. So that's my notes.
Okay. Yay, John's notes.
I do have. I got a big couple weeks coming up here. Got a big week and a half here.
Yeah.
Because I have Sunday. Our middle son had decided a few months ago that I was taking him to the adolescent show. And so I'm going to see the adolescents, which is going to be awesome. I'm not saying it won't be awesome. But it's on Sunday, and then
Sunday I'm getting a tattoo.
And then Friday, the following Friday, like coming up like 5 days later, we're going to NoFX's 3 final shows.
3.
They're doing 3 nights in a row, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All ends with The Decline, which is like their masterpiece, and it's me and Caleb, and it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be so punk rocked out that
You're
just like
start listening to country.
just like NoFX, I might be retired from my punk rock shows. I think that might be my official retirement as well. I haven't told him that yet.
I don't think you're going to be able to.
He's old enough. He'll have his car. He won't. Bye, Dad. Later, bitch.
We got to get him driving. He's like, Dad, it's only taken me once.
And I asked him, do you want to do it? Yes. Okay. Hey, man, do you want to go? Well, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
I'm just going to have to force him.
Yeah, I told you that. You're going to have to rape him. So,
drive rape him. I'm not raping my kid.
That's what I meant.
Not
Everybody
raping
knew
my
I meant
kid.
drive raping. Whatever. So, I did a show last Friday.
Oh, yeah, you did another
I did that
comedy
backyard show.
That's right.
Okay, and like I said, I was a little, I didn't know. I was a little hesitant about it. We went, and well, the lady
How did this come about? How did this...
Oh, okay. So...
Was it just random?
No, kind of. No, yes, maybe a little.
Whoa.
So, what happened was, remember when I was trying to find a venue so I could produce my own show?
And the lady in the backyard said, I want to do it.
Yes, and then she pulled out because of her husband.
Her husband was a twat.
And then I got Locale Studios.
Right.
Well, after I committed with Locale Studios with the date and the time and everything, Shauna, the lady who owns Our Piece of Sky... You can go on Facebook. You can go on Instagram. And it is, OUR Piece of Sky.
Is that the backyard?
That's the name of their backyard. It's in Canyon Country. And so she was like, hey, I would love to do a comedy show. We do concerts in our backyard. And she's like, but let me ask my husband. And I was like, please ask your husband because that's what put a kibosh on the last one. Well, then... a couple weeks later, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, are you LGBTQ or LGBTQ ally?" And I go, "I own one." I was like, and she kind of stopped, and I go,
I own one.
I go, "I made one? I have one. We own one. He's 18. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she goes, "Well, we have Amelia Day coming in," because they got Brandi Carlile last year.
Oh, yeah.
And they're getting her this year. And I guess
Okay.
Brandi Carlile is pretty big.
Is that Belinda Carlisle's daughter?
I think so.
Probably.
So, and she's LGBTQ as well. So anyway, so I was like, yes, I am an ally. I love him. I put makeup and hair on him sometimes. And she was like, well, let me ask Amelia. And then she was gone for a couple days and she said Amelia said yes. And I was like, cool. But I didn't know how it was going to be. I went over to her house like a week and a half before the show, and she showed me her backyard. You could just tell they're genuinely nice people. But I was like, I don't know how this is going to fucking go, but who cares? At this moment, I would do comedy in a porta potty. And so I made Brody go with me. Well, Brody wanted to go with me. So we went, and I met Amelia. She was super nice, this teeny tiny little thing. She actually told the funniest joke of the whole night, even more than anything I said.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's all, I graduated 2020, and I laughed too loud.
Graduated high school?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I laughed.
You know what's fucked up, though, is that's the year that those kids will always have that was the non-graduation graduation.
She said hers
It's
was
miserable.
She said hers was a drive-through.
Yeah, that's how they all were.
Poor baby.
So they did it at Central Park for all of ours.
I remember that.
I worked it.
I remember. So anyway, so I get there and I go, and the show starts a little late, and for a while like there weren't anybody showing up, and I was like, oh, okay, but who cares? I've done it in front of a couple people. So, but then like right before 7, like people started showing up, and I was like, oh shit. And there was a good, 35, 45 people there. It was a nice turnout. The backyard was beautiful. And it was a lot of LGBTQ. And the cool thing about it is Amelia had a performance the night before at, the Hollywood Cafe or somewhere. And it was 21 and over. So some of the people who came to see her actually got turned away because they weren't of age. So she was like, hey, I'm doing a show in Santa Clarita in somebody's backyard. So those kids
showed up.
I call them kids. I know you guys weren't kids. Showed up.
They're kids.
So that was fucking their kids. So I went and I did a lot of my Caleb jokes, which, okay, here's the thing. I started talking to all these people. The energy was fantastic. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is going to be.
Because they're gay people. Gay people are always all,
I'm
hello,
telling you,
bitch.
If you get a good, Sean Pulaski has a good gay following. Margaret Cho has a good gay following. If you can get a gay following, you're fucking in. And also, you're just cool because fucking,
I've got a gay following.
You're so stupid. So anyway, I told Brody, I was like, dude, the energy is really amazing. I go, I have a feeling this is going to be a good set. Will you record it for me? So I go and I do 15 minutes, and it was one of those sets, even though there wasn't a lot of people there, and it wasn't like uproaring laughter, it made me feel good. And it was a pretty freaking clean
Solid.
set. So I get off stage, and
another pumpkin.
she's found like 3 pumpkins. And so I got off stage and I ran to Brody.
She's going to be so wired on sugar.
And so I went and I told Brody, I'm like, she's not eating them, she's playing with them. And I go, I'm so glad you recorded that set. It was so good. And he goes, I thought you said I didn't have to.
So he never recorded it.
And I had to mom up and be like, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. And then what was really cool is Amelia got on stage. I'm going to be honest, because she was honest too. She's like, hey, I didn't know how this was going to go. A stand-up comedian, it can go either way. I was nervous, and she's all, but I got to laugh for 15 minutes before I get to come on stage. So that was a compliment to me. And everybody was like, my cheeks are hurting because I'm laughing so hard. So
she went and got Gilly. Gilly, check it out. There's treasures. I found treasures.
So hi, baby.
Hi, big baby.
So that was really nice.
I
But
forgot to give her pills tonight.
so it's okay. So she did a bunch of her songs. Brody and I have been listening to her on Spotify now a lot. She did a cover of Valerie, which is one of my favorite songs that
Okay.
Amy Winehouse did a cover of. And
Okay.
like even Brody's like, oh, wait, Mom, I know this song because I was, you know how I get when I
Right.
find a song, I'll listen to it until it dies. So the kids have to listen
it's
to
the
it.
tism in it.
Yeah.
I do it too. Caleb does it.
So-
Brody does it. We all do it.
So I was like, oh shit. So Brody knew the words and we all sang along and it was fucking fun.
That's cool.
But so Shauna, when she introduced me to bring me up on stage, she was like, oh, Joy has a podcast, When Wife Gives You Lemons. And I'm all,
Oh.
uh-oh. So then I got on stage and I was like, hey, don't listen to that podcast, okay? Like, please,
Yeah.
Comedian Joy, podcast Joy, massage therapist Joy, hypnosis Joy, and author Joy. We're all different Joys. And so then Amelia, she's like, what do you, she, this little thing drives all over the United States in a car and she has snacks and,
Well, I'm assuming. What? She has snacks? Are you serious?
okay, that's the important part to me.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
you. Fuck you. And
You mean she doesn't stop and get snacks? She just like loads up on them?
You're an asshole. But anyway, somebody said, what do you listen
Just
to
saying.
on your drive? And she goes, mostly podcasts. And she goes, all Joy, I'm going to listen to yours. And I was
Oh.
like, oh, please don't do that.
Oh, you know she's gonna.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. But anyways, I'm super proud of her. And I got to we took a picture after, I don't know whose phone it was on. But it was fun. And I hope that Shauna and I have talked about, and we are going to talk about doing a show in her backyard.
A real
'cause
show.
It was such a blast.
Okay.
And it was beautiful. It was not a huge backyard, but it was really cool.
Right.
And then only thing else
Oh.
they had a charcuterie board there, and Brody went and got some stuff off of it, and he came up and you know you're a fucking kid, and he hands me the charcuterie stuff, and it just has 2 strips of cheese on it, and he goes, Mom, it's like stinky cheese. I don't like it. And I was all, Brody, and I go, it's rich people cheese, and he's like, yeah, I don't like rich people cheese, and then we fucking laughed. He
Right.
was all,
I know, right?
I
Fucking
like stinky cheese. I like stinky
You
cheese.
probably do.
And then
Shows a lot about you.
And then the only other thing I have, I should have more.
I have never even tried a Baby Bell before.
Oh, you'd like those. It's just
No.
string cheese.
No, I don't really care for string cheese.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of string cheese.
Franny, there's no more.
Is that weird to you?
Yeah. You know what else is weird to me is when people eat string cheese like that.
That's weird.
I've done it a couple times. It feels wrong.
I could see how it would feel wrong.
So anyway,
I know exactly what it tastes like and everything. I mean,
it's
just not for
good.
me.
Okay, so anyway, the only other thing I have today is Brody wanted a donut. So
Oh yes, you're gonna tell me
yes,
this story.
so
I'm excited about this.
so I was pulling in to Love and Donuts, and you
Right
know,
over here,
yeah.
Gas
So you know
okay.
how there's like 2 entrances, one from the Live Oaks, and then one from the
Right.
Hasley.
Yeah.
So I come in, and this Acura comes in, and she's like coming in hot. And you know, I told you I'm in my villain era. I'm no longer a people pleaser. So I was like, fuck it. So I start to turn. Like we were playing chicken, and I just didn't chicken.
You beat her.
I roostered.
I'm proud of you.
And she fucking honks at me. And I was like, okay, you know, one of us was going to do it. Like, and I just won.
Hey, how to make it awkward?
Oh, wait. I did. So then she's coming to the donut shop anyway. She's also the size of my thigh. Fuck you. You do not eat donuts. You probably don't even, you were holding your breath the whole time you were in the donut shop. So Brody gets out to go get his donut.
So I'll take a dozen donut holes.
She did take a dozen, but I think she was bringing it to people. She's fucking Dexter. She's Dexter.
That means you're next. You just hit her list. Go ahead. You have one across the country there, or the other side of the world, Scotland, that wants to murder you.
Scotland does not want to murder me. He just wants to fix my grammar. Leave Scotland alone.
He wants to murder you.
No, leave Scotland.
He's like,
I haven't talked to him in a while. I should email him and see how he's doing.
He's all, oh my God, I'd forgotten you were on my list.
Yeah, when that one time
So
we
what
were like,
happened?
"Are you cheating on me?" And I was like, "With Scotland?" I was like, "Would you like to read his emails of their 3-foot-long emails about taking the trash out?" He's just a nice guy.
Serial. He's Dexter.
Anyway, so I park. Brody gets out. She parks, and I was like, "Of fucking course, she's going to the donut shop." She gets out, walks by my car, and she's tiny, blonde, like every Santa Clarita mom, right?
Right.
So she gets out and she walks by me and gives me the stinkiest, stinky-eyed look. And I burst out laughing. I was like, oh! And then she walked into the donut shop. And this is when I was like, oh, I'm evil now. I'm not people pleaser Joy anymore. And it's fun. Like, I don't want to be mean Joy, but I want to be like, don't fuck with me Joy. Like, that's the era
Okay.
that I want to be in. Except you can fuck with me. That's okay, because you're just mean.
Okay.
But, like,
Thanks.
I want to start
So what
setting
happened?
boundaries. And that's it. That's it. But it made me fucking laugh because she got so mad when I laughed at her.
So then she just sat there all awkward.
No, she went into the donut shop behind Brody. Also, she was getting a donut. Brody got one donut and a chocolate milk. Like, fucking calm down, Susan. So she walks in, and I asked Brody, I go, did she say anything to you? And he's like, no, but she got a dozen donuts. And I was like, fuck her. It was just funny.
She'd like an extra bitch on that chocolate bar.
It was just like, don't honk. We were neither of us were in the right, but neither of us were in the wrong. Like, don't honk.
It didn't have to be that way.
Yeah, it could have been like, oh, you fucking beat. Like, that's in my mind. If she would have turned, I would have been like, okay, you wanted it more. I wanted it more. I wanted it more. That's all. Like, there was nothing there was no rule. Like, there's no, like, drive-through.
Like in the movie Van Wilder, he's like, "It's a good day to die, McDougal," and they're all chicking off. One's in the golf cart, one's in the caddy.
Okay, Brody watched Superbad for the first time
Oh my
this
god,
week.
that's true.
And I was cracking up watching it with him, but I walked in and I go, wait, are you watching Superbad? And he goes, oh, I've never seen it. And I go, hey, McMuffin. And then you walked in like 3 minutes later and you go, are you watching Superbad? And Brody's like, yeah, I've never seen it. And you're all, hey, McMuffin. We said the same freaking
Which is hilarious because then,
line.
like 10 minutes later, that line shows up, and we laugh.
Do you remember when Brody died and we both came home and we turned on the TV and The Hangover was on?
And it was that,
And it was
him.
Brody's scene.
Yeah, that was wild.
Isn't that? And it was wild because when we were turning it on, I go, how fucked up would it be if it's Brody's scene? And you turned it on and it was fucking
Right, because
Brody.
we saw it was Hangover. It's like, oh my gosh, it's Hangover, and they were like, well, that'd be messed up if it's that scene, huh?
Yeah.
And it was.
You don't want to be here, kids. It's Loserville. Like, oh, Brody.
So
And then I was like, you have to take me to the Comedy Store. And you did.
okay, and I did.
And you did.
Man, I wish I could remember that story because I had something too.
I know it was funny.
It was something, but I can't remember.
So
I can't remember.
So I think we have adult friends now. That's cool.
Which is it's strange.
It's very strange, but I think we should
Two
keep
different
them.
sets.
Two different. Oh yeah.
We have two completely different sets of friends.
But we can't introduce them because then they'll like each other, and then we'll get asked out.
So, hey, Francis,
Franny
get over
Francis
here.
Barkala.
So I remember one of the stories. So my friend, my disc golf buddy, who had we were playing disc golf, and he had mentioned that his wife was leaving town for the weekend. He was like, man, I don't want to do it. He's like, I think I'm pretty sure I can do it and all that, but I just don't want to do it. I want
the
this
faucet.
faucet thing. And I go, dude, you realize
Who you're friends with?
right? And I'm like, dude, you realize I can do anything pretty much with. You realize that's my world.
That's why I married you.
He's like, oh, and I go, if you want help, man, I'll come help you. And he's like, for real? And I was like, yeah, just let me know.
For real.
So I didn't think anything of it. And then he texts me on like the Monday. He's like, hey, he's like, were you serious? And I go, yeah, of course I am, man. Why wouldn't I be? I wouldn't have said it if I wasn't, right? And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to get the faucet. My wife leaves on Thursday, and she comes home on Saturday. So can we do it in that time frame? I go, yeah, sure, I'll do it after I drop Brody off. So I get all the tools together, and I go to his house, and I get all set up with him, text him, and he meets me out front. He lives over by your old work in those apartments on the hill.
Uh-huh.
And so he gets me, and he goes, okay. He's all, I know it's strange.
I love this.
but we got to go this way, right? So we walk this like super long way around. He's all, I'm only doing this because my ring, and I don't want her to see you, and I don't want her to see that I left the house or anything. So we had to run around, and he's on the bottom floor, so we climb over his balcony thing. And he's all, okay, but I need you to take your shoes off, right? So I take my shoes off. I go inside. I change out this faucet like in no time.
Right.
It was an easy standard baby. So I finish it up, and I hang out, and we talk for a while, and then I'm like, all right, man, I got to go get the kids. So I get up and go. He's all, man, I'm sorry, I have to make you go the same way because I can't have her see you leave on the ring, right? And I can't let her. And I go, you do realize that your wife left, and your neighbors watch you sneak a dude into your back balcony.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I'm like, oh my God, I knew that motherfucker was gay. And like my buddy is like 6, probably little. He's a couple inches taller than me, and he's like 250. He's like 58-ish, and he's a big dude, big, strong. He's ex-NFL player, and he's a big freaking dude. And I'm thinking, and I looked at him. I go, do you realize though that your wife left and you snuck me in the back? I go, every one of them is like, oh my God, I knew that motherfucker.
Oh, there's
was gay.
pictures of you coming in and out of his backyard.
Oh yeah, and they're like,
there's a nosy. It's probably the same lady at the donut shop. She's taking pictures of you.
So I asked him. I go, hey, how'd the faucet thing work? I go, well, actually, before I left, I go, do you want me to take a picture of you holding the wrench and like so you can get some extra bonus?
No, because then they'd be like, who's holding the phone?
He goes, no, dude. He goes, no, you're getting the credit for it. Like, okay. So then, of course, he had to tell his wife how he snuck me in the house. And I'm like, dude, we look like the two, like just, oh, my God, look at those two bears. They're going to go wrestle. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have been stuck on the bottom. He's a pretty tough old dude. I'm pretty sure I'd be like,
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, my God.
Get me off my belly.
I did tell a joke at that backyard.
That was going to be one of my nopes.
That's a good
Boom.
one.
Got a nope.
I told a joke where I was like, we have 3 boys, and the middle one's gay, and I was like, got one. And I was like, but I kind of assumed one of them was going to be gay because I like dick a lot, and I have strong DNA, so it just makes sense that one of them would also be a dick lover. That's all.
Like a little more than the other one.
Just a little more than the other one.
Yeah, I like mine. That's it.
Like I told Aubrey, I was like, everyone should have more than one dick in their lives. Even a man should have more than one dick in their lives.
No.
Because, yeah. Yeah. So. Oh, and also, fuck that kid. I text Tyler like 3 days, and I was like, hey, I miss you. I love you. I told a joke about you on stage, and it made me think of you. Just wanted to, be a mom, say hi. 2 days go by. He texts me back, and he goes, we miss you. We love you. Which makes me laugh because Brody just went on a binge of How I Met Your Mother.
Right.
And they have a whole thing about when a couple becomes we. And it made me laugh.
Right.
Right. And then I was like, oh. And I was in the bedroom, so I'm like, I'm going to go tell John that our fucking kid talked to me. So I start walking. By the time I don't even finish going down our hallway, we don't have a big house. He texts me again. By the way, Aubrey really needs a massage. And I was like, you motherfucker. The only reason you text me is because you guys want something.
What? I don't get, but I don't even get anything that he wants anything. I just get, like, the friend text. I don't even get the dad text most of the time anymore. I get the, like, I know, we watch the same football team or we're watching the same races and stuff if we're not, So it's like, something will happen and I'll just get a text like, bro. Or, whoa. Like shit like that. And I'm like, that's where we are now.
That's where we are.
That's where we are now. Mm-hmm. All right, dude. That sounded like such an old dude, huh? Dude. I did that on purpose. It sounded like an old dude. Had old dude inflection.
Gilly, do you want to say anything?
That she's just a big baby.
She's a beautiful big baby.
Oh,
All right,
gosh. Let's get out of here.
let's get out of here.
Thanks for checking us out.
Like, lick clit surprise.
Hope
Also,
you laughed at least once.
and it was most likely something I said.
Has to be.
Has to be. If I get this up by tonight,
There's a show tomorrow.
I have a show tomorrow, Thursday the 26th at Lucky Luke's Brewery.
Lucky Luke.
It's where the old Wolf Creek Brewery used to be. Not the Wolf Creek restaurant. That's still there. The brewery. And it's up. Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's on Rye Canyon Loop.
Yeah.
Also follow SCV Comedy because all the comedy shows in Santa Clarita, because we don't just have, the battery's running low. We don't just have swingers. We have comedy shows as well. Lick Clit Surprise. And also you guys really should check out Amelia Day, AMELIADAY. She's on Spotify, and she's actually a pretty fucking cool chick. So goodbye.
Yeah, and if I, upset anybody, oops.
You're just a big bear.
I'm not no bear. Yeah, me and my buddy, we're bears. Bears. Good day, bears. Hey, you're still recording. Look. I can see you're still recording.